and I went to sleep in the other room alone. I was alone. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Let's not even waste time. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and welcome. I tell stories about some of the most eventful, wholesome and funny things that have happened to me. So yeah, today's story is about horror movies and basically just getting scared. First time I watched a horror movie was when I was a kid, right? I can't remember the age, but my dad brought home two CDs, right? He brought home Barbie. I don't know why he used to buy me Barbie cartoons, but he brought home Barbie and this other horror movie that he wanted to watch. So he put it in. We started with the horror movie first because, you know, we can't be watching Barbie. We started with the horror movie first, but he put it in. It was a movie about soldiers and everything. And then there was like this human being that used to walk on all fours and was like ugly and everything. And it was like killing everyone. So it was like the first time I think both my dad and I watched a horror movie. So I was really scared. But the thing with me is that when I'm scared, I don't move, like I don't scream or anything. I'll just be there like I'm not scared. So my dad was like, I know my dad was scared because you know what he did? This is exactly what he did. It was like, the movie is scary, eh? I was like, yeah. Then it's like, we should remove it, eh? I was like, yeah. He was putting it all on me just so he could remove, like, he was making it an excuse for him to remove it when he was also scared. So that's just one of the times. But this was like the big event that happened. What happened was this, when we moved to this house that we're currently in right now, a few years ago, there was no electricity whatsoever. We didn't have electricity for an entire year. So what happened was my cousin called my mom because she was leaving her house, right? She called my mom because she was leaving her house. So she wanted someone to take care of the house. So she was like, hey, can you send King Wade over to come and take care of my house while I'm out? So my mom asked me and I was like, yeah, sure, I'd love to go there. So I went there and this is how I felt. Oh my god! Wow! It's like that. It's like, oh my god, because I hadn't seen electricity in a really long time. So when I went there, I found two other cousins that she lives with, and a third cousin who was also sent there to take care of the house as well. So all these three were girls, right? So we're just there chilling, and they are really cool because they understood that we never had electricity for like a really long time. Like where I was coming from, we didn't have electricity, so they let me watch like everything. I was catching up. I was the guy like in charge of what to watch. So I kept on watching and watching and watching. So it was that thing where I was so carried away, like, you know, even forget about teaching. So it reached a point where it was in the night, right? And then the eldest cousin says, I've got The Conjuring. I was like, what? I've heard so much about that movie. Then she was like, I've got The Conjuring, should we watch it? Then that was at around like 20 hours. And I was like, nah, shouldn't watch it. So kept on watching movies and movies. Then at 23, I'm like, you know what? Let's put the movie 23, which is like 11 p.m. Put the movie in at 23. Boom, start watching it. You guys, there's just something about that movie. There's something about that movie. Compared to all the other horror movies I've watched, because I watch a lot of horror. I've watched quite a number of horror movies. Out of all the horror movies I've watched, that's like the scariest character I've ever seen. I've watched Insidious. Insidious was rubbish. The Conjuring, that nun, you guys, that nun is just something else. And I think it was also because of the build-up from school. I heard so many rumors that people were dying after watching this movie and everything. And for me, I'm a born-again Christian, right? So if you're a born-again Christian, you can there's just something that you can just feel. The evil presence that I felt when I watched that movie, I'm not exaggerating, you guys. That was something else, something, very few movies make me feel like that. So I watched that movie, right? We watched it, and it ended at 01. That's at 1 a.m., right? ended at that time, like, whoo, and we switched off all the lights, by the way, in the house. We switched off all the lights and we were watching the movie. So it ended, right? When it ended, the credits started coming in. Then immediately they said, based on the true life. I didn't even finish reading that. I just switched it off. Like, boom, no. They wanted to show the family. I was like, no, I'm not seeing this. So it was over and it was time for us to go and sleep. So I was supposed to go and sleep in one room, and I was supposed to go and sleep in the other room. And guess who was going to sleep with everybody else and feel safe? Not me. It was them. The three of them went to sleep in the other room, right? And I went to sleep in the other room alone. I was alone. You guys, I'm not even going to lie. I was scared. I was scared. But no, there's something. So I was moving slow, right? I walked in slow in the room. I had to close the door. Closing the door slow, like I was closing the door real slow, looking around, trying to see everywhere, trying to see if there's anything hiding anywhere, if that man would be about. So I closed the door real slow. Boom, I turned around, opened the blankets. You know, you enter slow, like you enter slow, put my feet inside, my legs, covering myself, and then immediately the blanket reaches here, just do this, you cover yourself. That's how I covered myself. Now I realized the trick that I use if I'm like scared. I try to distract myself. So I was like, how can I distract myself? I was really thinking about that movie. Like, can't he just show up? So what I did was, I got my earphones, put them in my ears. Then I started playing gospel music. I started playing gospel music the entire time, man. Until I fell asleep. I was like, gospel music will keep playing, I won't stop it until I just fall asleep. And that's how I fell asleep. Then next day I sat down watching TV again. I started seeing like some glimpse I started seeing some glimpse of this thing, like black and white, all around the house. Like I'd be watching a movie. Then in my peripheral vision, I'd see like black and white. Then I'd look there, there's nothing. Same thing. This kept on happening for the entire time I was at that house. So I was like, you know what? This thing will probably leave me when I get home. That was because I was just really so afraid of the movie at the time that it came out, and all the build-up that was there, and just the presence that was there. So I went, the time came for me to go home. And being a kid, like when I'd watch a movie and be afraid of a movie, it would only take like one day. Like if today I'm scared, tomorrow when I wake up, I'll sleep peacefully. But this didn't happen for the movie. This took a month. It took a month for me to get over this movie. So I went home, I was like, this thing has probably left me. Went home, sat down, there's no electricity, which made it worse. And I was like, I'd be seated. Then peripheral vision, I would see, nah. Like, no, it has followed me. And then there was one time that I was asleep, right? I was in my blankets, just cover yourself fast. No one knows what's going on. I was asleep. Then I was like, can't you just find it, like, at the edge of your bed? Then I uncovered myself. Same thing, peripheral vision. Black and white, like it disappears. You guys, I was so scared. I was afraid. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, like, if you get really scared of horror movies, why do you watch them? And this is my thinking process. This is how I think. Like, before I watch a horror movie, this is my thought process. It's like, if I don't watch this movie, I won't know what happens. If I don't know what happens in the movie, the same thing might happen to me in real life and I won't know how to solve it. So I'm like, you know what, I just have to watch it so that I can know how to solve the problem, how to defeat the thing. So I end up watching the movie. But right now, I'm over those movies, and The Conjuring 3 is on the way, so I'm going to watch it as well, just to get it out of my system. And yeah, man, that was the story, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yes, please leave some comments down below about some of the scariest movies you've ever watched. And let's just keep watching these scary movies so we can solve the problems when they happen to us. Thank you for watching again. Peace.